So it was really a self reflection. 225 pounds, it felt sluggish. I felt uncomfortable, definitely less confident, felt a little unhealthy. And I think the worst feeling is like if I go to the beach, I won't feel confident taking my shirt off. And I think that's probably one of the worst things to feel. And I think like most people that have weight on them, that's probably the pinnacle piece that they probably hate.
I was able to lose like 30 pounds within, I would say, 4 to 5 months. I lost 30 pounds and I didn't even know I had 30 pounds to lose. I lost 30 pounds in 4 to 5 months and saw a huge difference. Yeah, I was very happy with it. I was excited. I just kept the pattern going. And then it was naturally, I was noticing my personality or mind changing too because I looked better. I felt better. Because I felt better, I was more confident and I was able to, like, I don't know, be more positive in a day, be more positive about things.
I lost 35 pounds and I felt so much better. And to your point, it's one of those things where even to this day, I have certain days of the week or a week or two where I kind of fall off, but it's always going to go back to the what's the plan? This is the plan. I'm going to execute the plan. I'll tell you this too. The hardest part about starting this journey is the very first day at the gym. The next hardest is the second day at the gym. And the
Mhm.
third hardest is the third day at the gym, and so
Yeah.
on. So every day after the first day at the gym will get a little easier.
I'm a mom of two. After having my second kid and working constantly nonstop, I kind of neglected my overall health and physical being. So I had a moment where I was able to slow down in life. My kids were getting older and my, job and work was getting slower. And I was able to stop and evaluate, do I like who I am at that moment? But my goal in the past, before I had kids, my early 20s and whatnot, wanted to look and be almost like a lightweight bodybuilder. That was my goal. That was kind of part of my dream. But that all changed after I took the path of motherhood, I guess you can say. And that was my way of finding myself and getting back into it. I think the first thing you need to do is have a goal, and that's what I did. The first thing I did was I don't want to just look healthy. I want to feel healthy. So I signed up for a gym membership. I committed to it. I committed to it where it was I'm investing in myself. And so I went to the gym every day, even if I didn't want to, even if that meant 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I committed to it. And then I found a routine in the gym that kept me going. I have a personality that I get bored really easy, so I cannot do the same thing every day. And I hate running. I will not run. That's just not my thing. So I had to try different things. So I just went to the gym and there was a luxury for me to try different things. I tried elliptical, I tried stairmaster, I tried weightlifting, just all different things that I can kind of get myself active. And I found hot yoga as one of them too. So the key thing was I stayed consistent for about, I would say, a week before I started to notice some changes already. And that minor change day to day or week by week is what motivated me to keep going because then I was addicted. I was addicted to see what more I can do. But simultaneously, the biggest change I would say for me that helped was the way I ate. I started working on tracking my calories. It's not enough to just stay active. The only way for you to lose weight is to be able to be in a calorie deficit. That means you eat less than the average calorie a day that is recommended. And on average, most people should eat 2,000 calories a day. And I needed to stay on those. So I started tracking it. Everything have a label, right? So I started tracking calories. I started working out, and this became my lifestyle. So I moved it into a way where I was keeping things consistent. I was taking 1 or 2 day rest days. Before, I worked out twice a day for 7 days. I did not take breaks or anything. And then I started to ease myself into cutting myself some slack, changing the way I'm doing, because I'm not dramatically trying to lose weight anymore. I'm just looking at building and toning and maintaining what I have and then staying healthy. It was a long journey. I'm still at it. Now, am I 100% satisfied with the way I look? No, there's always room to improvement, but I am happy enough where I can consistently, I would say, go and eat anything I want. I don't cut what I want to eat. I can eat anything I want, but in moderation or within the calories I'm going to sacrifice. Like now I know nutrition well enough doing this to know if I'm going to be eating a bag of chips that's 150 calories with literally no health benefit. That's the sacrifice I make for the day. So it's a balance for sure.
There was really a turning point when I was in a business trip with a bunch of my colleagues along with Kiana in that business trip. And I
Mm.
remember Kiana's like, "Hey, let's go work out." So a bunch of us went together to work out at the hotel. And I remember Kiana this so clearly. You're like, "I'm gonna do the elliptical if you guys want to join me," or you're doing the
Yeah,
stepmaster if you guys want to
master,
join me.
yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, "I'm gonna do this for 60 minutes." And I remember thinking to myself, 60 minutes on the stairmaster? Are you crazy? I didn't say that out loud. This is the first time probably me hearing that. But I'm a very competitive person. So when I heard that, I'm like, okay, game on. So fast forward the next day, you're like, we're doing this again. So a few less people came along from the group. I went third time, I went fourth day, I went. I think we did it 4 days in a row, and then
Yeah.
we all departed. So when I got home, I thought to myself, okay, that was interesting. That was pretty fun. That was a big calorie deficit. That helped a lot, kind of kickstart. What if I just continue this as much as possible until I fail? So it became like a David Goggins moment of I'm just going to push on this every single day. I'm going to go to the gym for 60 minutes and do the stepmaster or the elliptical. I'll just swap between the two, and see how far I can go. While I started that journey, I also did a little bit of research, right? Having coffee in the morning has helped suppress my appetite, where my first meal of the day can be around 1, 2 p.m., maybe 3 p.m., which then that keeps me full because I usually eat a very high protein meal. And then my dinner might be a little late in the day, which is not ideal, but at least I've kind of capped the total possible calories I can eat, kind of force myself to a smaller time window before I go to sleep. And that's worked out really well. So there's always tricks and ways to fix that. And for me, it was a combination of I needed to go to the gym because it was part of the plan, and I wanted to stay disciplined. Part of my goal was how do I call myself disciplined? I call myself disciplined because I'm gonna go to the gym every day, even if I like it or not. Yes, some days I'm gonna sit there and barely move that elliptical machine, and some days I'm gonna go hard on that elliptical machine. But I'm
Yeah.
still gonna try to show up at the very least because the hardest thing is that pattern of going every day. That's the hardest thing for everyone. Once you
It's
start going every
showing
day,
up. The
it's
hardest
showing up.
thing about going to the
Once you
gym is
get that,
showing up.
yes. And it's got to be part of your schedule. It's got to be like, I'm going to leave work and go straight to the gym, do an hour and go. Or in my case, I'm going to go to the gym in the morning, first thing when I wake up, sluggish, do an hour elliptical. Halfway through it, I wake up and I do the second half. And then I'm going to go
Yeah.
shower and go to work. And that pattern was so important. But the first day going at the gym, you feel self conscious. You're walking around people that have worked out every day of their life, it's seemingly, and they look like models basically. And they're like, but the reality is the fact that you're at the gym, you've already done so much more than so many other people. And I will say something too. I get so motivated when I see someone at the gym that is not in good shape. That motivates me so much because think about the amount of effort and personal just rigor that person had to go to the gym at that stage, right? So it's like sometimes I want to walk up to that person and be like, wow, like you motivate me. Because if that person can make it to the gym, I have no excuse not making it to the gym.
Yeah. I mean, I see that. I agree. I also see the reverse. Like when I see somebody at the gym that has an incredible body, it doesn't matter if it's a guy or a girl, actually, they just look good. And you can feel the confidence of them walking. I get motivated of like, I want to look like them. I want to feel like them. So don't see it as like somebody else's success or image. Don't see it as a competition or threat almost. See it as an I'm gonna work my way just like them. I will become that person for someone else in the future because someone else will look at you and see, wow, I want to be like that. Because there's always somebody better and there's always somebody that's worse off than you. So you will always be a role model for someone, no matter what. So don't discount yourself. And I will say the biggest other piece comes down to being able to go through this journey. Part of it, I think I'm gonna speak for Speros that made it fun and easier for him to stick onto it because he had me to be able to hold him accountable in addition to compete. Of course, it could not be me, but
So she thinks. Yeah, right.
But that's also what's important. So if you have a friend or family or us, like to hold you accountable, like I want to go through this journey. I need somebody to hold me accountable because I have other colleagues and friends that I did the same with. It makes it a little bit easier. You're not in it alone. Don't be afraid. There's so many people out there that feel like they're alone on like a journey of making themselves feel or look better and they don't know where to go. Well, no, you're not. It's okay. And sometimes strangers are your best supporters as
Mhm.
well.